to find out. MIBR taking on Eternal Fire to kickstart the B stream here today, and we are really looking forward to seeing how these guys can, I think, get going, because they've both been a little quiet by our expectations, let's say. But it's Mirage to kickstart this series. MIBR starting on the T side, Eternal Fire on the CT side, and Mirage to start this series.
Yeah, I have been down on MIBR recently, to be honest with you. Like, the addition of Lukowski didn't really do it for me. And then, of course, they had this sort of IGL crossover. What is Drop necessarily doing in the team? We don't rightly know, so got to work that out. The coaching change is kind of a big one, and I think the fact as well, in a region that is very much saturated with them, they don't pick up another one immediately. So that's going to have an effect coming into this tournament. Zantares, the man of the hour. Lots of chatter around him. Will find the first. He does get overwhelmed as they push through their own smoke. Wicadia up close here. His days are a little numbered, one would assume. He still comes away with a kill. Eternal Fire just about holding on to the lead in this round. Bomb has yet to really cross in. Lukowski on these Julies. I believe he's retrieved them. He will lose his head quickly. And Insani is left to clutch it all up by himself.
Yeah, it's a really scrappy round there, but Insani needs a bit of a heroic moment. Jota feels like a bit of a freebie of a kill, but he's then also sort of protected in this sense. When the bomb's built forward, I mean, this should be impossible for him. Insani's got to do something miraculous here. Now spotted out, pop shot, cannot find form. How much does Jota want to fight here? He's probably not wanting to risk too much. He is low, and he does somehow survive another tag. Insani trying to isolate 20 seconds, though. We got to go, mate. Now or never. And it's not to be. Jota will see it off in the end, and it's a very decent start. Eternal Fire, 3 remaining alive. Finally, the opening round. That's what we want to see, and start getting the vibes on a high note.
Indeed, we are very much in a vibe CS kind of game here, I think.
Yeah, no coach on one
Eternal
side.
Fire in the
That is
mixture.
it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It does make a difference, for sure. And there you go. Vibes are good. Certainly enough in the day. I don't know, it's like 10:30 over there, isn't it? So they don't really have an excuse. You should be getting going by then. Yeah, we're on the, what, 8:30 call time, our time. Yeah. That's just pushing it. I think maybe like half an hour earlier than that, and I'm like...
Dead.
It's rough, yeah, but...
Do you know what
Just that extra little bit of time in bed.
My natural waking up time's now 7 these days. I'm crazy. I know.
What's happened?
Nah, it's just because my girlfriend gets up for work at 7. So then when she gets up, I obviously just like wake up by her, getting out of bed or whatever, and that's it. Like, I'm awake at that point. Can't really go back to sleep. So I'll go on my phone for an hour. Don't get me wrong. I'm like brain rotting myself to start the day, but
yeah.
I'd still wake up at 7 and that's
immediately injecting the dopamine.
Oh, of course. No better way to start your day, some would say. But yeah, man, 7 a.m. It's been a change, but I want to say I feel like I've been more productive, but that is a lie. I've just been awake earlier and going to bed.
It does,
earlier. Like
when there's 2 9 o'clocks in a day, when I have one of those days, like it does feel pretty mega, like, damn, I'm really a functioning member of society.
Yeah, that is very, very true. A very simple shutdown by Eternal Fire against the pistol rounds, but first gun round here for MIBR. Now we get to have a little insight into sort of what they're planning. This is your map pick. You got to show us something here. We need to see why MIBR have chosen to go in towards Mirage, and so far not exactly been the start. Insani exit and it's an all on 0, right? So let's get these individuals online, especially Insani. I think more so than anything, he's so important to these T sides. He's such a big space creator. And here's where he might be tested, and he does well, finds the first, and actually does it relatively unscathed as well. Wicadia needs to be careful. He's just very lackadaisically moving through the space offshore, and that'll cost him. Woxic a nice shot, knows where a second is as well, but he's tunnel visioning, and a molly will move him out.
I mean, what a perfect pick-based round from MIBR. So clean, the sense of timing. Yes, they get a catch on, a couple unaware players, but all the same, it looks so damn clean, and the kill feed just lights up. So this is going to be their round. It's now a question of whether Woxic in particular manages to save the all-important AWP for his personal economy, and of course to just make sure that he has that gun in the next round. Magic trying to distract away. Okay, he will lose his life. Is the sacrifice worth it? Unfortunately not. Woxic cannot make it out in time, so he will go down. That's everybody eliminated. Really big round there from MIBR.
Yeah, it is. It is, honestly. Not only taking it, but taking it with ease, cleanly, starting to sort of flex the muscles a little bit as well. It's a nice shot from Woxic. It's a hard angle to hit, but he just can't do anything behind it. Oh, didn't realize as well that it was that kill Insani gets. But brilliant round for him. We just said we need to get Insani online. He's so important on these T-side rounds, and there it is. Big 3 kills for him. Massive round to be stepping up and showing his prowess. And you know, he is going to be unbelievably important in this series. If MIBR want to win, they have to lean on him quite a lot, especially to shut down somebody like a Xantares, versus Lucadia, to open things up here. We have 2 rifles to work with on your 2 most important players for Eternal Fire, and one of which has got an opening kill.
Oof. MIBR thwarted massively. Molly comes in. I think they'd started to make noise there as well, so they do not want to dedicate to that or through that. They know that the members are going to be around, so yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. They will have to look for a different avenue of attack here, so I'm curious to see what that will be. We've got the mid smokes coming in from the bin. Still seems to be, you know, the more popular location. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Of course, on Mirage, there's many window lineups, but it seems most players are still sticking to the bin. That's a great flash. That is a great flash. Bretto is just so blind. Really well read as well by Eternal Fire to just be like, right, we need to gather a bit more information, see where they are. Wicadia gets his hands onto an AK. It is quickly dropped. Just an MP9, not really going to be enough to put up the defense. So the numbers are quickly brought back. Bomb plant comes in, and MIBR set to hold. It's a missed shot on the AWP, though.
It's an absolute peach to really open things up, but this round's still got something brewing. 2 versus 3, in which Woxic is tagged up now. We've got guns to work with. Jota probably needs to start moving his way forward, but Exit is holding. He's got at least some level of an idea. It's about timing. There's one. Jota is still crossed, but then he gets spotted out as well. Hits the shot on Exit, and it's all down to Insani. Catches more damage, but he can't get the kill. It's in Xantares who sees it off. I think we've got just enough time on this defuse, but my God, it's going to be very close indeed. They might have missed it. They might not have got it. Oh my God. Oh. Right down to the milliseconds there, but it is seen off. It's a fantastic round at times, though, from Eternal Fire. You know, opening kill, then Wicadia gives the gun away, and he gets flashed in with the Deagle, picks up another gun, and makes it work with that apps control. Super well done. I think for MIBR, they get unfortunate in some circumstances, but they've done really well to make basically what is 2 rifles and a few upgraded pistols stick like that.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that that is a steal. That is an unlikely round that they've just managed to take there, so they'll be really happy with it. See whether they can hold and keep it coming. Xantares under the scope, out of the FOV, takes down safe. So a nice clean opener. Certainly a difficult game for the AWPer of MIBR at the moment. Xantares with a positional change up here, looking to continue the mid hold, but they've got the mid control. I think that's mainly because Eternal Fire have sort of conceded it.
So, him towards mid. We're boosting up. Xantares waiting behind. Lucauzi, he was holding. He was ready for it, but Xantares was just quicker. A push in towards ramp, but that doesn't work out for Wicadia, but Jota thankfully there for the trade. New man on the block for Eternal Fire, and he's been making some waves as well, now in a 2 versus 4. Genuinely, with that AWP, they could tempt to save. Well, Exit won't, but Brendan definitely could tempt to save here. I think that would be the way, but Maj, did he hear the steps? I think he might have. And he will hit the shot as well. Brilliant round. Double AWPing CT side might be the play in this next one, because they got an AWP for free. But great work from Eternal Fire. They've really got a strong start in towards this Mirage.
Yeah, it is a really good kickoff for them. I think this is what they wanted, you know, first game of the day and get everything going. Just make sure that you are in a good headspace. It can be a bit difficult, I think, when, you know, you look at these sort of super long days of Counter-Strike where there's a lot of waiting around going on. And you have to catch all the games, you have to keep up with all the teams and whatnot. It can be very difficult to just immediately be like, right, we've got MIBR, what do they do? How do they play? What do we expect? You know, lots and lots of readjustments have to come in. So the fact that they're looking so good, so quick, and it's MIBR's pick as well, don't forget, is a really good sign for the rest of the series.
It's true. It's quite scary in particular. So, you know, it's early doors, but I'm getting a little worried for MIBR. Just a tad, just enough to keep me on the edge of my seat. Just around here for them, we're going for the most standard player. B-Pop, a little bit of a fake towards A, and it is ever so slightly dragging Wakadia and Zantares out of position, so MIBR is going to be tested here. Oh, pucks his head up, but he will get the shot on towards exit. Not the spot about Wakadia. He's got to hit one of these, though. Oh, he's not. He's struggling.
A bit difficult. He's bought time, though. He has bought time. He's denied the bomb getting in. So this is what we're waiting for, is the rotations to have an impact. MIBR on the AWP. Good for one. Ooh, a little bit of a dink. Zantares scared off. So has yet to get control of the bomb. But with only 25 seconds left, I don't really know that MIBR can go anywhere else.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
You're stuck here, fellas.
Gonna have to dedicate. Gonna have to give it a go, and there's 4 players. Oh, okay. We'll take one. We'll take 2. What?
Oh my god.
What?
Jesus.
You cannot be serious.
For a moment, that felt a little awkward. Thankfully, it's not, but my god, that was dicey. That was dicey. A couple of kills on P250 did worry me for a hot moment. And you can just see that A util did drag them out of position, but the only issue for MIBR, they just spent a little bit too much time getting on towards the site. You know, you've dragged over Wakadia and Zantares, and, you know, you've done that, and I think, obviously, you have no idea that you've dragged them over, but you've got to assume you have, so you've got to kind of try and quickly, especially because it's an AWP, just barrel in as a pack. He can only shoot one at a time, right? I am making him uncomfortable. And Sani to open things up, though. Needed that. Zantares gets caught.
Jota, going to play it safe, concede the control that he had of the site. They are taking their sweet time getting in. This flank is real quick. Could even deny the bomb plant if he gets in good time. Safe is on the way to watch for him, though. Well read. Maybe footsteps heard at some point towards mid or something, but he seemed to have a good idea. He's already rotating around towards middle as well, so I do like it, but you can see Eternal Fire pulling away. MIBR. Listen, man, when it comes together, really clean. Really looks great, but it's just trying to get those parameters working for them. I mean, Safe's like, I know they're saving. He's already gone in for the rotation here, so he's had a very movement-based round. He will get bested, but, you know, the idea was there.
I like the sort of preemptive sort of expectation of the second we get that second kill and, you know, buy safe, and he's just saying, all right, now they're not going for this, right? We've already got the site, and I'm going to try and see if I can catch somebody off guard. He does damage, but it's not enough in the end. Jota going to play Bogdan's here with the AWP holding over towards shore, but it is going to be a second on the board. So there's still the chance at a somewhat decent display out from MIBR. It didn't start great, and, you know, there's still a pretty healthy lead that they've got to try and recover from, but all it took is a couple of kills and, you know, another one from Insani to open things up. Like we said, they are going to have to rely on him, and it's not only an opening kill, but it's an opening kill on Zantares. He's winning that head-to-head a little bit in the early stages, so that's where MIBR can lean on this and say, that's how we're going to get in towards this game, but you're still 3 rounds behind. Eternal Fire on exactly under too much pressure just yet. You know, if they get, you know, 1 or even 2 more rounds in this first half, I think they're absolutely fine.
We shall see, though. Eternal Fire, of course, it's looked incredibly effective in the early stages, and they previously did a good job of bouncing back, so they'll be trying to tap into that again. Early nades. No one there. No one there. That's usually how it goes when you go for a nade stack. There's just no one on the end of it.
But that
I think everyone
time,
learned
though,
their lesson from 2018.
Yeah, that one time someone goes there and you get a kill, you're like, yeah, see it, and it was worth it. It was worth it.
Once in a while, it does indeed pay off.
Once in a blue moon.
Slow round.
Say. Great beer as well.
Yeah.
I must throw out there.
Yeah, shout out.
Love a blue moon one time.
Yeah. Other beverages.
Other beverages on label.
Just to make sure, just to cover our
Blue
bases.
Moon sponsored, but Blue Moon want to sponsor me. I'd say yeah. We'll open things up with a second as well as Jota's delivered on towards Brenton. And this A hit, they've been liking a MIBR, and it's unfortunately this time not worked out. And Safe takes a slight tag to the nade, not enough to really put some off kilter. Wacardia on the flank. This could work against him. Oh my god, how's he still alive? And he even deals damage to Insanity too in that labored spray.
Looks good here, I would say. Yeah, and they're sort of abandoning the main idea. The bomb has been dropped, so obviously if they want to try and go for this, they have to pick that up. You need to plant it, usually on the T side, but I think they are moving for a save. Madget.
Oh.
On the angle. Safe seems savvy, but he also... Maybe, I was going to say the decision getting the better of him, but he succumbs. The intrusive thoughts win, and he will go down. So it's just Insanity to try and hold here. Will Imagine move forwards slowly, but not too much dedication from him. He wants that AK. He gets that AK.
Fair.
He will take it. But Eternal Fire right back in there with the win is, again, a dangerous prospect here.
It's big, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. Super important to kind of be taking it in that spot. So, fair play. Cannot complain about that at all. And Sani, him surviving with an AK, it's whatever. They got lost bonus, so they can buy back in. No problemo. 6-2 though. I actually think Eternal Fire are sitting pretty comfortable right now in this map, and the fact that it's their opponent's map pick in the series too is going to help. Jota, love the entry. Fight on towards Brinton. They get a cut behind to try and catch Insani, but he's a little savvy of that. Gets away and only takes a small amount of damage. MIBR really constantly trying to test A early. They're just not succeeding in the opening head-to-heads.
Oh, yeah. Lukowski, though, will get a bit of a return. Takes a lot of damage for his trouble, and he is alone, so there's not really much follow-up on it, but at the very least, it's a kill back for that T-side. Just don't know what they're going to do with it now.
Four versus 4 with a minute to work with. Lukowski tagged up. Not too worried just yet. We've still got some belter util to work with. As one smoke, or a couple of smokes drop, we've still got one left over. Double molly, double flash, and an A. So a pretty decent util set for an exit. As they are going back to A. There's 2 players here to meet them. Antares and Jota have been playing this dynamic duo together quite well. And in all fairness, the rest of the team aren't too far away. Now, with Wacardia being spotted in towards mid, there's a world they might expect this A hit. Exit, where are your bullets going? Santaras is delivering. As Insani and Lukowski line up, and he gets both. And Safe left with it all to do. 1 versus 3. Woxic plucks him out of bulk. 7 for Eternal Fire.
Yeah, looking really solid here. To start off the day, MIBR, I don't know, I'd maybe think about a timeout.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Get a couple more rounds, 2 rounds is obviously not going to be enough. I'm not great at maths, but I know that for free. Yeah, those are unfortunately the vibes. Although, this is one of the things as well we talk about, right? There's no coach behind them.
True.
Not that timeouts have to exclusively be about coaches, but that would be someone that would be like, yo, we need maybe a moment, maybe a bit of a reset. Santares, caught off. That's what happens, man. You try and spray through the smoke, You're going to get caught reloading at some point. And now, Jota has to give the position up. He's pretty low. So looks good. This looks doable. Woxic here on the orb. The rotations and the cavalry finally arrived, but, the bomb goes down, and they have, no information. This is going to be so messy. Smoke comes in. Safe says, thank you very much. I'll try and work around that. He might get away with something a little cheeky here. if he plays his cards right. But they are breaking into the bomb site. Fight going down in middle, by the way. So, you know, whatever's going on over there. Safe is behind. He's got an AK. Oh, God. Oh, God. Cancels the defuse. Lowers another one. 2 on 3. Still doesn't look awful. The shots just don't land, unfortunately. So they will get it in, but that is awfully close.
It's a little chaotic, wasn't it? My God, for a moment you're thinking, have they just done enough MIBR in that post plan? But not to be. Now we're at an 8-2 scoreline. This is actually really dominant. You can see smiles on the faces of Wakardia there. Poor Zantara's getting caught, but they do recover well. Woxic, little fortunate, but you take them all the same. So this is now in, I mean, well, doubt a dicey position, right? I really feel like we're starting to see MIBR quite significantly fall behind now. And I mean, if they can't get up towards 4 at the end of the half script, I actually don't think they've got a chance in this map.
No, I think you might be right. Just want to point one out from the chat. Someone said the Eternal Fire doesn't pick Anubis. OMG. That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's a big...
Bring it back to the Counter-Strike. That is a huge, huge double nade. Oh my days. You've got to be joking. I mean, MIBR. You really got to feel for them at a certain point, guys. Huge double nade comes in. They've been red on the B rush. Then they get blinded, and Maja, it's just, you know, 2 bullets and he's killed like the whole team. They're so low.
Maja masterclass there with a read. I have to give him credit. That is actually, it's pretty special. Just right. Dunk a couple of nades in here. We'll see what we can get. Beautiful. They're loving life, though. They're getting fired up, and that's exactly what we want to see. This so far is feeling like a really, really good game. And unfortunately, it's just not been enough for MIBR. Tough predicament. Honestly, it's a really, really difficult predicament that they're in. I don't even know how they try and save a little face there, to be perfectly honest. They're in a really awful spot. Even just 3 rounds in towards the seaside, I don't think it's enough. They unfortunately could be giving up their own map pick. And then heading towards Inferno. Reeling a little bit. Woxic opens things up. Kowsey just gets caught running through.
Certainly not ideal, sir. And again, cannot catch a goddamn break, MIBR. As the sort of impartial viewer of this game, you definitely do have to feel for them. That's a cheeky one back, though, so maybe they do have a bit of luck on their sides. Quite yet. We'll see. We'll see. 4 versus 4. Group up on short. Try and get it going here. The boost up. I like it. I don't know whether it's going to be watched for. Maja, whoa, he's got a bit of an idea. He gets scared eventually, and they will get the better of him. Woxic's here on the AWP, and I mean, this is the shooting gallery that an AWPer dreams of, but the running headshot from Breno, absolutely mental. Jota will bring it back. Can they hold on here? He's on top of the bin. He spots them both out. Just got to stay cool. Trying to buy some time for his mate to come and join. He's a ring around the rosy. Will eventually go down. But it's Wakardia on the backside, of course. Oh, deleted. So a nice, crisp round from MIBR. To get their 3rd, is it enough? We generally say not, but stranger things, of course, do happen in Counter-Strike now.
Yeah, it's true. We've seen some wild comebacks in the past, but for MIBR, they're going to lock in, man. This has not been a good display. They've got to pull off something, honestly, quite miraculous coming in towards the second half. Eternal Fire looks so clean. No 2 ways about it. Everybody's having their moments, I think. Jota looks great in terms of opening duels. He's really confident to fight earlier. Wakardia, as we just saw there, he's had his moments throughout. Woxic's hitting some nice shots. Antares looks alive and kicking. And Maja's calls have been fantastic, as we saw in the penultimate round of the half. So everything seems to be slotting itself into place with Eternal Fire. They're playing at the level that we expect of them. And I don't know if MIBR have got anything up the sleeve. But we're going to have to find out, of course, after a little break. See you soon.
MIBR up the creek without a paddle at the moment. This is their pick. It is not going well. No timeout, no coach. So can you really use timeouts? We were debating about that. I think they maybe just needed one to get a little bit of a reset because, look, they had some really nice rounds, but they just couldn't repeat them, couldn't figure out the formula for winning, generally speaking. So, yeah, they go down in a pretty rough scoreline now. Pistol means everything, so on and so on. You know how it goes if you are a viewer out there. Of course, you have seen many situations like this. Manager keeping it going, slapping them up.
I love it.
Let's go. Big hype. Win the pistol, guys.
He said, like, I'm not here. I'm not like a tactics guy. I'm, a pretty amateur sort of like, player and viewer of the game. I'm just here to keep the vibe tight, right? So, we've seen some wild comebacks in the past, but this one, it's going to require something quite special. I mean, genuinely, we have to see MIBR coming towards this one. Pistol round, conversion, probably first couple of gun rounds, and that's
got to be a different team.
Yeah, exactly. A completely different showing required. And that's probably, in a way that's what the manager gets, got to sort of understands, where he's sort of saying, like, whatever, that first half happened. Let's just go again. Insani, that's a quick shot. Man's going to get caught early. And they're going to try and capitalize upon that spacing towards mid now. They're wrapping through, but they're also testing him. And he spotted the bomb.
He knows what's coming. He's set these Julies up with the information at the very least. Oh, the shot's just not landing. Insani's here for another, but he does eventually go down. So 3 versus 3 in a bomb plant. Exit is around quite quickly. He's got some help from Lukazi as well. All coming in together. 1 for 1. It's Woxic's angle that we've got to watch. Can they find him? Oh my goodness, the answer is no. Woxic with a hella clean correction there to just stay alive. Really well played from him. I thought the Julies, after a certain point, so many bullets fired down range. One eventually would land in the head, but Woxic kept his cool. And he helps win out the round in the 2 versus 2.
It's a serious shot from Insani, but unfortunately just not enough. And now up to 10. It makes matters all more dire for MIBR. 10-3 down. They're going to, of course, eco in towards this next, which I respect, but it basically puts all the weight of this map on this next gun round. And you spoke about it. We just need a completely different side, and it just doesn't help the spot, the predicament that they are in. We got one kid to work with for Insani as a just in case, once the potential of an injured defuse, but it's highly unlikely. It's a bit of a B lean here with how they're set up. 3 in that direction, 1 towards mid, 1 towards A. And so far, it actually feels like the right call.
Certainly could be, bro. Certainly could be.
I mean, I don't know if it'll make a difference, let's be honest. Like, the firepower
it's true.
Should be everything.
Yeah. But we've been talking about these stacks over the past few days, and I think we've seen a good handful that have just always been on the wrong bomb site.
Yeah.
Oh, they're abandoning. Oh, okay, they're not. It's still only a little stack as well. It's not a full commit, this one.
The 4th player is close enough, though. Window, he can kind of get over in a decent enough time. But if Magic gets 1 kill here, it completely eradicates the stack idea, because they'll have to rotate. There we go. Now we've got CT control. No one moved, though, interestingly.
Yeah, dedicate to the idea. I'm a fan.
Oh, Magic.
That's so awkward. He gets it done with the USP. Oh, he gets another one. USP.
All right.
There's a little adventure going on over there. Bredo's patience pays off. He finds a cheeky frag, but it really doesn't matter, You don't expect them to win that round, but like we're only really interested in it if they do start to win it or do start to do loads of damage. So it all comes down to this, and a really, really long road ahead of MIBR.
Fair play to Magic for getting the 2 at the end there. A little flustered after the Mac 10 shots don't quite connect, but he does his job. He's actually not doing too bad at all either. 13 and 6 for him. Pretty good stuff. I mean, everybody's had their moments. Even Jota, who's the bottom of the scoreboard in quotation marks, he's actually still had some really nice kind of individual plays, especially on that CT side where he was actually fighting up against the T side, trying to fight them in towards ramp. It's a bit of a thankless position at times, A ramp, and I thought he did a really solid job doubling up there with Antares. And all he's really trying to be is a sporting element for him. Now on the C side, he gets used a lot in these entry plays. And you can see him over towards Palace. Smoke will come down, meet him at the feet. They've contacted out, and in they come. Molotov down. X is going to be in a bit of trouble. He's going to swing. Flashbang, nowhere to be seen. Mac 10 on Maja. Could get 2, and he does before he falls.
Lukowski at range. Doesn't quite know what to do. Does he take a fight? Does he try and stay alive? They're going to join up together here in the window and hope to move in, but as the bomb goes down, as no opportunities come their way, they're just going to save. And I mean, I don't know, fellas. They don't have a kit. I feel like if they had a kit, they'd really have a good case to go for it. But even then, you got to make something work, guys.
Yeah.
You know, like this is a very safe save, very run-of-the-mill kind of response to this round. And you're not in a run-of-the-mill situation. It's 11-3.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're sort of in, at least for us, this where we haven't seen anything really slot itself into place. You're just kind of thinking, why not take a risk, right? Why not gamble? It basically feels like they've got nothing to lose, but they're playing for overtime, MIBR, and it is right down to the here and now. A double rifle, they can get, you know, in Lost Brothers, at least enough of a force to make it somewhat competitive, but Eternal Fire have just been cutthroat. They've been so good throughout this game so far. Unfortunately, it's just not been clicking for MIBR. And aside, they've had some decent results over the span of like the last 6 months, right, where they've at least kept competitive at this tier 1 level. This has not been one of them. On their map pick, no less, makes it all the more damning. Triple M4, 1 FAMAS, 1 MP9 to keep them alive here. And we've got at least enough utility to maybe warrant a threat. Zentaris, he's having a lot of steps. The flashbang from safe is good. Oh, Zentaris jumps at the worst possible moment, though. And that gives Lukowski a freebie. Oh, Magic gets 2. What's happening?
A mental round to potentially end play here. With Cardio on the other side of the smoke, not looking to do anything too excitable just yet. The one big thing is the bomb is absolutely nowhere near any of this, or they have spotted each other. Woxic thought he'd maybe got in sneakily. Nice little nade, softens him up.
Oh, nice.
But a bullet in the cranium will do it.
Uh-oh.
He gets his catch. Lukowski out towards shore. I'm not sure if they have information on this. I don't think so, but they know that A is clear. They know this fella is indeed a B player at the very least. Oh, he swaps onto the AK. That would have been a vulnerable moment if Woxic had gone wide, but he didn't. Flash to sort of keep him at bay for the time being. They're playing it safe. Not looking to take the fights. Lukowski on the gap close here. Slowly but surely making his way towards A. Just doesn't quite know where to look. That's a nice smoke, to be fair. He will be smoked off himself. So just trying to get giddy with it. Blinds himself. Timing not quite there. He knows he has to be the hero. He's trying to just find an avenue in, and it is not presenting itself. You know, a really tough look here in the 1 versus 2.
It's crazy that this round's fallen apart, by the way, and Wakani are going to shut it down, but genuinely, when you look at the macro sense of how that round's fallen there, that is really encapsulating everything that's going wrong over towards MIBR. It has been difficult to watch, to say the least. That was not the Mirage they wanted to see. They really fell very flat. But Scrib, the good news is, I mean, Eternal Fire are back. That was a Mirage, I say, nothing's going there, and now we're going in towards Inferno. Makes it all the more worse, I think. If it had been the case that we're starting on an Inferno, then we could be like, okay, you know, it was bad yesterday, but we'll see what happens. But I don't know, man. I've got a lot of worry for this one, so we're going to have to find out. But we are live. Map number 2 here between Eternal Fire and MIBR. And of course, it's going to be a CT start for MIBR, who are looking to hopefully get something going.
Oh. Insani not quite on those crispy USP shots just yet. He was the one standout for MIBR on that previous map, as you would expect. But didn't really have too much support, unfortunately.
Matchup. Second top banana control. Minute to work with. We've not really decided to do all too much. It's decent map control taken. We're starting to move in towards apartments. Now we can have 2 over towards apartments, 2 over towards B. Magic playing in the middle, and then he can make a call. around that. Wakari playing in the middle. But, I mean, even still, I don't know what is the idea here with this two splits. Somebody's got to draw away. The bomb is towards apartments, but if it goes down here, it could be Orca. Thankfully, it doesn't. It's only Brinson who's got to go kind of huge, but drive by. And then Major holds for that flank. Bomb goes down, and that's it. MIBR can't do anything. They needed Brinson to hit that shot, to drop somebody there, to give them a chance to rotate, but it was not to be. So a 2-2 split through A and B ends up working out really well. That could very easily have fallen apart, but it didn't.
Yeah, perhaps a risky round. Eternal Fire, though, feeling confident in this one, aren't they? Pulling out a lot of experimental rounds, it feels like. So just a chase for the exits here. Speaking of, Mr. Exit's actually quite close. They trade headshots. Can you make it away from the bomb is the big question. I think Jota might actually go down. He does indeed. So, you know, tiny bit of something. It's not the end of the world in a pistol round, to be honest. But, yeah, not the best of starts for MIBR. Certainly not what they needed, right? Fresh slate, new map, new me. And unfortunately not the case. So, we shall see how the force buy looks up. MIBR going straight in for it. Again, we're not usually massive fans of this, but it seems like they've got quite a lot of cash. Has he had a drop across? He must have had it.
Yeah, I think so.
There's no way Lukazi's afforded that all by himself.
Put a lot of hopes on his shoulders, it feels. And we'll see whether it pans out. Early nade, softening up a couple of Eternal Fire early. Smoke over towards long. We're not committed again to anything, and this is where this Eternal Fire sort of poke and prod can work a little bit of wonders. Shoulder spotted of Insani. I don't know how much information he got here. As he's playing further back, if Santoros clears first orange, this could be spicy. Does, finds the kill, easy. Insani also going to get spotted. The nade is a dunker, though. And there's also more to be found here. Swinging Lukowski will get another, but they're just forcibly fighting B. They don't care that it's stacked. They're still making this one stick, but it's a 2 versus 2. A lot of damage dealt towards MIBR, but they've got to be careful of this flank. Safe is running up close. Wakadia, is he going to get the shot? He will. Not cleared by Safe, so it's all down to one man. Insani at 5-7 and 41 points of HP.
So far, it is close. I mean, keeping the hope of a round alive, keeping Eternal Fire on their toes. Insani surely not long for this world, and indeed, Wakadia will find him. But yeah, like you say, throwing caution to the wind a little bit, not really all that bothered. And again, it's very good signs for Eternal Fire if they can walk into the stack against the FAMAS and still come away with the round. It does feel sort of ridiculous, but yeah, they're maybe on this higher plane at the moment, really playing well, and just so confident with it.
2-0 start. And again, the worries start to creep in very early for MIBR, don't they? Oh, the Max having by Wakadia. A lot of damage there. It's just a pistol round, so we're not expecting a hell of a lot, honestly, in this one. But you do really worry for MIBR. I wonder what the future looks like. I mean, obviously, a coach has to be the first stop, doesn't it, right? Get that in the team.
Oh,
but yeah, there's genuinely probably a conversation starting to open up about, you know, another roster move and, you know, who it is. I just feel like this Lukowski one hasn't quite started itself into place, maybe as sort of they would have hoped. He hasn't been lights out for them, right?
Yeah, and he was pretty hot coming into it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really heavily contested player. People even saying, you know, why has he not been picked up sooner? And I don't know, it just feels like maybe forcing a bit too much like firepower in there, trying to get the numbers overstacked. It's hard to say, really. And it just hasn't really worked at all, to be honest with you.
Mac 10's getting some money in the back pocket. Wakadia, he knows another in towards pit. He should expect it as some sort of a crossfire at least. Doesn't want to overfight here, which I think is the smart call. Trying to bait out a shoulder. He's got the better gun. He could just bound around the corner and probably get away with it, even though he is tagged. Now he's got support. Just jumping towards Cold, and he should be okay. This is such an awkward fight. Like, you don't really want to overhunt because you're the one who's got everything to lose. Hence now, where they spotted all these players out. And now we can swing in. Now Wakadia can get the money in the pocket. There we go. Quad kill for him. Jota steals away the ace. But a 3-0 start for Eternal Fire. They're looking good, Scriv.
They are indeed. They are indeed. Listen, I just want to address something. I saw someone in chat after the force buy round using the cinema line. Oh. And we have to be careful that we don't.
Yeah. We've had some cinema. This is not cinema yet. This is. Yeah,
it's not cinema.
Daytime TV right now.
This is barely TV.
Yes. This is like, there's like telemarketing TV channels. That's one of them. You don't want to watch it.
Yeah,
but you have to.
Sure.
Every now and again.
Yeah.
We want to see something, right? If you want cinema, go back and look at some of the games that we've done over the last 2 days on Pro League. The last day of Stage 1 in particular was wild. Yesterday was pretty sick as well. That was cinema. This, not to be so far. Maja, he's pinned it in here. There's no escape. Wherever you go, you're going to face a fight. He's just trying to bait out shots, but he's just going to bait himself into his death. Lukowski holding on the exits, and it's just Young Wakadia alone. He's got A, that's great, but there's nothing he can do with A.
Yeah, he maybe needed this a bit earlier. He's actually wildly thread the needle.
Yeah, somehow.
Money made. Okay, there you go. Get rid of the AWP. That's something. Opportunity to make some more money as well, to be honest. Some pretty low HP members. They're after him, but he could certainly get the drop on 1 or 2 more. Decent read here. I'm not sure he's going to be ready for Brenner around his corner. Will he fully contact?
Oh, spot barrel.
Ooh, he spotted the barrel.
Hey.
25 seconds. I don't think he wins the round. No. The bomb is too far away.
Expensive, though.
But the amount of damage that he could potentially do is pretty substantial. Lukowski gets him. Wow, how did the... What? How did the AWP end up there?
Thrown up. Somehow.
But he threw it like...
Yeah, I have no idea, actually.
So I don't know...
I really have no idea.
How it's ended up there.
Who knows?
That's kind of crazy.
Either way, though.
Maybe we can get the technical guys. Oh, there's like a little gap.
Yeah, maybe.
I think above the, and then it's like landed in there. Okay, doesn't really have an effect usually, like that small window that's there.
That was a slightly weird round though for Eternal Fire because they just didn't hold anything in towards mid, and they've done it again. They just don't expect any mid aggression. Lukowski did it last round. He's going to do it a second time, and the thing is, he gets one. Unfortunately, not getting the second means this round is done immediately. They cracked open B. At the same time, we were fighting mid. 2 easy kills coming towards top and honor. One with Util with a double nade stack, and that's it, right? This is how quickly Eternal Fire can just flip around on its head. The only issue is the bomb's still got to get over there, and it's in a precarious spot. Let's get going now, Majid. Let's stop buying time here. It was a relatively quick flank happening by Brunson. Thankfully, they're okay. Bomb goes down, round 1, and that's the issue, unfortunately, for MIBR. The second you find a round, you need consecutive rounds on the board. You need a bit of consistency. Let's give us something to work with. You fall very, very flat. And that's just how good Eternal Fire can look right now. I mean, everybody's having their moments. Wakadia gets caught early, but Jota, Xantaras, Maja all simultaneously getting kills that net them a very simple round.
So there's been a bit of a theme on the mainstream. They talk about like audio only listeners.
Yeah.
Shout out the audio only listeners.
Some people do it, yeah.
It's sort of wild. It is sort of wild to me as well, though, that like in the 70s, you wouldn't be able to really watch a football game. You'd have to like listen to it on the radio. Yeah. There was like hardly any football games shown on TV and whatnot. So it's just crazy that like, we're in an era where you can consume so much information, so many stats, so on and so on. But if you were a fan of like this kind of thing, well, it's like 50 years ago now, to be fair. It's quite a while ago. But you'd have to like, listen on the radio and not really get the full viewing experience.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
That's true. Oh, hello. Opener that comes through with the spam. Oh, running out of ammo. Because unfortunately for Sunny, thankfully exit was there. Lucaozi back spotted. Jota's so tunnel vision in on that. He's wrapping this corner. I mean, he's dead here. That's for sure. And Macardia simultaneously finds a kill. This is something that Eternal Fire do so well. Kills it multiple times.
Man, it has gone so puggy the past couple of rounds. Not over just yet in this one, I will say. Birenazan in a pretty good spot in the pit. Will he see the action? I think the answer is going to be yes, as the bomb makes its way slowly, mind you, through the apartment. So they are being very, very tentative here and not wanting to throw away this opportunity. They know that it hangs in the balance at the moment. Breno in the pit, just playing things nice and silently and slowly. There is a Molotov available. He unfortunately took his eyes off the prize, and Wicadia drops down perfectly to take him out. So exit's going to save, and the round will indeed be secured.
And exit for him, even saving, it just puts, again, MIBR in this really awkward spot. I don't think we're buying around this. I mean, maybe, right, because they got loss bonus, you can squeeze out a few, but you'd be limiting utility in some cases. It's just such a good display from Eternal Fire. They're not making mistakes at all. MIBR are very rapidly falling out of contention here. While we were going on with this round, Ty Lou as well have just closed out map number 1 against Na'Vi. A G masterclass again. What a game. 17 and 8 from him. And Mercury, Attacker, all having their own moments. But 13-10 for Tyloo, map number 1 on Tyloo's pick of Inferno. Pretty sick to see. This Tyloo side keep taking names. You know, they're very up and down in ways, but they're fun as hell to watch. Lost the Spirit. That's fair enough, right? Spirit. We saw it. They were okay at times, but the Donk Masterclass, there's nothing you can do about it. Na'Vi on the flip side, though, of course, we talk about they lost the Saw. That was such a big upset. No one expected that, especially not that third and final map. Back over here. Attack time out, and what do I even talk about, honestly? Nothing's going to plan.
Yeah, again, I think it is just kind of a get your head screwed on straight type vibe. Yeah. Probably could have done with one of these over on Mirage, because we're obviously going to have quite a lot of spill from the problems on Mirage, and, you know, from a mental perspective, it can be a bit of a tilter. We do have to bear in mind Exit still very young in the IGL game.
Yeah.
So I think it's certainly something that's going to have an effect on him, right? He's learning on the job with moments like this, and especially at the time being, you know, the coach will take some of the pressure off of the IGL when it comes to the captaincy, the man management, and all that sort of stuff, right? So they can just focus in on the game. They just don't really have one of those at the moment. Wicadia going to entry, a very quick round here. Eternal Fire, classic after a pause, really, to just get in the face of their opponents, and it works quite well. It is that low buy, not much expected from MIBR, but I'm sure they would have loved to at least, you know, shoot a few bullets, and they're even denied that opportunity. Wicadia with the 2-piece at the end. This is getting silly now.
It is. Could be a good time if you really wanted to delve into some mail. I saw there was one that the Asian was talking about a little bit earlier, which I think could be sort of up your alley. You're a bit of a movie buff, but it was like if you could have any sort of soundtrack in the game, what would you have? Is there any sort of soundtrack from a movie in a game? So I think Josh Steele said Tron. I think that's pretty good. Daft Punk.
That was pretty good.
That was Moses, I think. Really that was Moses said that. Sorry, Moses said that. That was a great one. Lord of the Rings is what Machine said as well. We'll come back to that in a second. There's a bit of a banana fight brewing here, and Sani gets caught in 2 minds. Molly in front of him, but AK's on the other side. It's pick your poison. You're dying either way. The issue is that Woxico, he's holding in towards mid. That is safe. Shoulder! He panics. He just doesn't set himself. He doesn't realize that he's still unseen.
Certainly rough. Again, Eternal Fire kicking things off very, very cleanly. To bring it back, while we maybe have a little bit of downplay here. So I think if we're talking like purely musical scores, you know what I mean? Not like, I don't know, a soundtrack that involves, you know, songs that you know or whatever. Don't know. Maybe June 2 is a bit of a cop out of this year for sure, or last year at the very least. Probably go with that. Star Wars, also a good shout.
And Torres, well, he's holding. He knows safe is around there. Of course, you sort of want to fall away, but Santaris has the shot. Time was ticking. There was a flank brewing too, so it felt like a guarantee regardless. But Eternal Fire with another round win, and MIBR continued to fall flat. Now, there was a I can't remember what movie they said. They were mentioning stuff like, you know, like Kill Bill and stuff like that, which has like, you know, like older tunes and hype tunes. I'm trying to think, is this a vibe, right?
If we're being...
Yeah, like John Wick is like a cool, like, ooh, you know, like action. But then at the same time, if we're going for like, just like music I like I've like, you know, a weird shout out here, but Grown Ups has like some really cool like 80s music, like, which I think is pretty sick. Like, I can listen to that while playing, or, you know, something along those vibes where it's like, yeah, I feel like Tron's a good shout. That's definitely got some best music. I actually watched that not too long ago. That's pretty good. Interstellar is a good shout as well. Like, yeah. I think actually the male.
We're being pedantic, right? There's two. Sorry to like. You have a soundtrack, which is where it's like.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Steel
like
said.
Where you have stuff that you know, and then you have a score which is original.
Yeah, but they didn't specify.
I feel like soundtrack wise is okay. Fair enough. I'd probably have to say go with a score because then it's like.
Somebody shout out Guardians of the Galaxy.
Kind of
That's actually a pretty good one too.
Oh, that is a good shout.
That's a great shout.
They do have some good songs in there. I think Star Wars would go pretty hard. Like when you're in a clutch, you got like the Duel of the Fates one whenever they're having like the one-on-one lightsaber battles. I think that'd be pretty good like during a clutch.
I'm with it. And it seems also Brinton's finally with it in this game. He's got his opening kill. His first as we are deep into round 10. It's taken a while, but he's here. He's present, and now maybe the start of something. Jota trying to move out of Bao. I don't know if Lucalzi or anybody spotted him. He takes a tag, though. That'll make his life a little harder. He's setting up for a bit of Util himself. A little lurk Util here to potentially try and make Brinton feel uncomfortable. They're basically committed towards A. That's the only issue, but they're so tagged up.
Santares on the contacts, actually walks it to find the kill. He gets mollied off. Jota needed him to find that to keep this round alive. Woxic left on 5 HP. A bomb to retrieve, and he does, but the AWP is trained and ready to take him out. MIBR finally back on. It is another chaotic round, but they're able to thrive in said chaos. It has been an incredibly tough half for them once again. 2 rounds, still not going to be enough. Can we finally, for the first time in this series, string some together?
Yeah, MIBR they do feel unbelievably flat, but that one, at the very least, it's something. It's better than nothing. It might give us a start. If we can get 4 rounds at the end of this half, it is far from over. The only issue is we were at this exact same scenario. We were at 8-2 in Mirage, and we said, right, if you can get 4, there might be a chance that they only got a 9-3 of the half, and it was far from enough, and then never even got going in that second. So that's the issue that we have arising here, where it's like we need 4 as a, you know, the absolute for MIBR if they want a chance, and it feels so unlikely, and it's not a good start as well. 2 tags are not going to help out. They needed one of those to be a kill, unfortunately. If they had a HE behind there, which Lucalzi does, the only issue is he's not close enough towards Banana, but if he could have dunked an A round, that could have been something. Wicadia, oh, that's brilliant. Timing play, moves up short, opens up the A now as well. There's 2 over towards long, but Wicadia can get a deep position here.
Yeah, it's a weird little game state for MIBR to deal with.
Smoke long, boys. Smoke long, go A.
Good.
We're chilling.
Oh, Wicadia, so well played. Who expects the Moto smoke push, right? That's just so incredibly red. And he keeps going to, you know, just get all the kills, really.
Yeah, wild stuff. Oh, my. What a game for Eternal Fire. What a series to them. Just been, honestly, actually unstoppable. They've looked really, really good all the way throughout. And then this is the Eternal Fire that we can get throughout this tournament. Then we can start to talk about them making another deep run. MIBR are going to call for their second timeout as, I mean, X are trying to do his best in bringing this team back to somewhat of a fighting stance. But there's just nothing on offer, boys. 9 again for Eternal Fire. And this time, if they can extend it to 10-2 at the half, that is it. I mean, already 9-3 feels like it's a done affair. Eternal Fire, we know they're going to have some great protocols on their CT side. We know they're going to have some great ideas. And MIBR, they look like a real shadow of their former selves, a real shell of the team that we've come to expect over the years, who have been so fun to watch, mechanically so crisp. They've got that prowess. None of that here. Ooh. I like those stickers. I've actually never seen those.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of, like, stickers in the spawn, or graffitis in the spawn. It's cool, man. It is certainly cool. But, is it going to help you win rounds? I think, so far, it's hard to tell. I actually didn't catch which spawn that was in, so I can't answer my own question. Okay, so yes. Thank you very much.
I got you. Swing and a miss from exit.
Big
stuff. Cowsey gonna feel the same fate. This is looking like a 10-2, isn't it? My God, Eternal Fire. I mean, so much credit to Eternal Fire. They look unbelievable. But us here as casters, you at home, we're all feeling the same way, that this is a very muted MIBR. As much as we can credit Eternal Fire, we are going to credit them because they have looked great. We have to sort of discredit on the other side. MIBR have been non-existent, so quiet, and it's been really, really rough to watch. Ricardo, we'll see you off the last 10-2. Scriv, that was a brutal watch from MIBR, it has to be said.
Yeah, for sure, man. We saw the Apex clutch video in between maps, and I think it may well have dejected this MIBR team. They really do look weak and don't quite know what to make of it. You know, this is a non-starter from them, a non-game, and I think they kind of know it. Again, we've got a lack of sort of timeouts when things are getting away from you, and the mental feels, you can see it on the server, just so shaky. Couple of really nice individual moments to net them a couple of rounds, but there is no consistency, and we talk about it a lot because it's important, you know, get those rounds strung together. Easier said than done, apparently, especially against an Eternal Fire that are really hot shit this afternoon, to be honest with you. We're going to take a break, of course, and we'll see you in a few.
Welcome back. I just want to start off by reading some statistics to you. 179 ADR, 25 kills, 5 opening duel attempts. No, that's not the entirety of Eternal Fire. That is Wokadia alone. He is 25-3 off the back of that first half. One of the most insane halves I've seen in a moment. But having nearly 200 ADR for a half a Counter-Strike is bonkers. At a tier 1 level, no less. I cannot believe it. MIBR are being shut down by one man. This actually does feel a bit like a 1v5.
Yeah, maybe a little. Maybe a little. This guy, I mean, he's 1v9 at the moment. The whole world against him. But he is fragging out. P2K Warrior Woxic will kick this round off. He's got him trapped in banana, at least for the time being. Madja takes another. That's going to be the bomb hitting the deck awkwardly as well. Woxic. Lovely and clean. Fights all over the shop. What is going on? I don't think I've seen a fight that deep into second mid, like, ever. You know? What is happening in this game? So many mental exchanges, it feels like. But Eternal Fire win the round out, and I think we'll start to hammer this one home. Series going to go their way. Going to be done quick. Everybody's going to have a nice break, you know, before the next game. MIBR, where are they? You know, my brother's playing. I'm lagging or something. I don't know what the excuses are, but they're just not.
Nothing. No excuse can bail them out of this one. We were talking about excuses being late to practice. Blame the weather, MIBR. That's all that really we could go with at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is so rough. They just look so damn sick. Madja fighting FB9. He will get one pistol pulled out. Oh, my God. He gets the support of Xantares. He does actually get out as well. And a lot of damage dealt there, wanting to fight him. Do you really want to test Xantares with a rifle? I think that is ill-advised. He gets his third of the round and a 12-2. This is a brutal display. And Eternal Fire don't even need to celebrate. This is just another day out of the office for them.
Yeah, I mean, literally, maybe not even. This is a really good day at the office. They've been promoted.
Yeah.
You know, someone's brought in, like, cake for their birthday. This is a really, really great day at the office, I think. You know, another day at the office is like 13 sevens, maybe. But it's not usually this good. MIBR battling for survival, battling to just quell some of this embarrassment. But it is another tough buy for them, of course. They made their bed in the previous when they tried to go for it. Didn't work, so more of the same, really. Is there any need to, like, look up like that for that smoke? I think he can surely just right-click it in front of him, right? Is that not a little bit?
I guess I think it's probably to just, like, prolong maybe it a little bit. Like, to prolong before it extinguishes. I guess it's the only thing I can think of. Or maybe they're just styling on him. You know what I mean? Like, this is just...
It could be a little bit, yeah. It could be the 12th.
Yeah, it's just nothing left to lose at this point. But...
Man, this is a slow one.
Jonas is also, our wonderful observers mentioned that it can also be to do with the landing sound. So it sounds sort of further away because of the bounce. Spark.
Okay,
I like
sure.
that. I like that. And Sandy finds the first. Oh, exit with the second as well. Tech9 drive by onto Xantares and Madja. That's not a bad start at all. If Woxic can get a kill here, retake is back on though. And it is now, right? 3 versus 4. Only one rifle that is to work with, but they're actually opting against it. They got plenty of time. They're saying, nah, why not? But I'm with you. Like, why? Just give it a go, boys. You know, you've got so many rounds to spare.
My guy, James,
he's infected us all.
You know, he's got a lot to answer.
We talk about brain rot.
12-2.
Yeah, we talk about brain rot. This is Counter-Strike rot right now.
The money's not even that awful.
Yeah, go for it, man. You're against Tech 9s and like Mac 10s. Come on. You've dropped one M4 as well. Like, why not? Why aren't we going for this? I mean, they'll get hunts, they'll get exits. That's nice.
See, look how good you are, man.
Exactly.
Look how good you are at the game, bro. Believe in yourself.
28-4 for Wokadia, by the way.
Stat padding, yeah. Wokadia's like, yo, I need my 30 bomb, actually. So, you know, I'd rather not go in there and risk getting traded or whatever.
Insane.
I don't know. 2015 CS would never. No. They would have absolutely gone for it, you know. You got Pasha, Taz, and Neo like looking for the clutch. They are going for that. Yeah. Even though it's 4-on-3. If they were 12-2, they're flying in there. You know, and Pasha kills 3, and then the defuse is really close. And they give us an entertaining round. They know why they were there, you know, for the fans, not for whatever this is.
And instead, we've got, yeah, we've got Jane Ball through and through. And you really do hate to see it. But it's a third for MIBR. They are, honestly, just kind of like killing time before the inevitable end of this game. Ollie down. Does tick a little bit on towards Insanity, so at least enough for information. They're going to flash over and fight, but the flash goes actually too early. Nade will bank round. The only difference is Wakardia's here. Wakardia's still hitting shots. Molly will come down. Nade banking behind it. He's going to reposition. A lot of damage dealt there towards Insanity and Safe. I don't blame Wakardia if he wants to fight here. He is being lights out. Why not just back yourself? The only issue is, how are we going about this? Surely we're not going up on top of coffins, right? Oh my god, he is. Oh my god, he is.
On plan. Oh my god. He fell off, though. He fell off. What's happening? What is happening? Last guy in dark. Oh my goodness, that is a mess for sure. Woxic did not know where to look, but MIBR come away with it, so they are going to buy themselves some decent time.
Oh,
but we will see.
Brutal. Brutal. Such a chaotic round, but he's got his 30 bomb, so we'll take that every day to the bank and back. He gets very close to the second. If he doesn't fall off there and just commits to the fight, he would have got the second as well. It might have been a chance, but it doesn't matter. We actually are now in an eco after all that. So MIBR, the real cosmetic comeback begins. Now, I'm not believing until they're at like 12-11. Oh, it was close. It was close.
Can you imagine the blind Zeus? Oh, that would have been so hard.
PM as well, right? Like, just so tilting if you Lucalzi and you get full blind Zeus.
He was so close. All right, he does eventually go down, Lucalzi. Renault's trying to deny the AK. Not going to happen. They got info on these final 2 players. I think they could easily hunt and drop this AK for sure. Yeah, he's dead. Oof. It's close. Yeah. You get some shots off.
Well. That's it. It's an eco. We're not expecting a lot. They're just, as we said, killing time for the inevitable Eternal Fire win. It feels at the moment. A tough predicament. But MIBR, it's better than, you know, the 13-3 that we had in map number 1. At least you've sort of, on paper, people look at it like, oh, there was at least something on the Inferno. There was a little bit more. They will realize that it was not the case. MP9s are coming to the table. I like this. 4 MP9 by Wakardia with the M4.
It's a decent amount of nade damage, and I think they're looking to capitalize on it here. Insani. Oh, no. Close. Jumping around. Everybody's jumping. Everybody's jumping. Woxic. Oh, that's not what he wanted. Yeah, there you go. Wanted the AK. Oh, it's only got 1 bullet. So not much he could do. What's the plan here then? They're still sticking around in Banana. I think a dangerous game to be playing. He survives just about. That fighting towards mid though is the important one. Still got to get the bomb back. They obviously won't know that Woxic is 3 HP. Even the glass of the bottle, I think, would have done enough damage to take him down. Either way, they keep it costly is, I suppose, an important thing for it.
Yeah, you'll take whatever we can get, I guess, but MP9s don't amount to what they were hoping. They really wanted to... they were basically banking on the fact that MIBR would overextend through that smoke there, but they can also do the spam of their own. It was only a load to half by, though. We can come back in with a full buy. Up in play. M4's alongside it. This is where Eternal Fire should close this out. They've had their fun now. They've let things slip a little bit. They've had the slightly jokey MP9 round. Now let's close this out. Let's see it to its conclusion. Missed shot from Woxic. Jota won't, though. Good trade.
Yeah, I'd still take that if I were the T side, though. Super early 1-for-1. Big information gathered. Insani. Clean. Yeah, and they're not expecting Lucazi at all. Seaside's not looking bad from MIBR, you know.
True.
Jota's still around. I think they'll be aware of him. In towards the pit. Gets a dink there. Unfortunately, not the frag. Denied any kills. Maja alone. Save makes sense here. That's certainly agreeable. But yeah, man. MIBR wrestling a few back. Look, if it was 10-6, if it was even 11-6, I'd maybe give them a tryer's chance. But I'm not too sure about a scoreline like this. Surely they fumble at some point.
Yeah, it's true. Maja, can he save? Because he is slightly being pinched in here. There's about to be an exit fight in front of him. There's also a library player. He gets to get spotted out. Exit. Good due diligence just to check. 12-7. I'm not believing just yet, but I am saying that this is actually getting a little close. That's all I will say. It's 5 rounds, a broken economy for Eternal Fire. Come on, let's not get silly here, but I'm not believing until like 12-10, 12-11. But this is sort of slightly wild.
They're liking these MP9 buttons.
Yeah, this was actually made very popular by Furia. They started doing this quite a lot when they would, even when they would win like a CT pistol, everyone would buy MP9s. And they would do it for 2 rounds in a row, just because of how strong they are, basically. And I kind of like it. You know, you half buy in, you bring in sort of in most cases half armor, and then MP9. If things go a little awry, a little overextension, you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Well, we got the crazy double boost right now. So if they go B, this one is over, bro. Look at this. Look at this monstrosity. I do not believe it. The double boost. One of them even has the cheek to play anti-flash. Like, just... They're both playing anti-flash. Yeah. Oh, my God. It's so...
I love it. I love it. Because now, look, the ledge...
No, the smoke.
The ledge smoke also missed.
Oh, my.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Oh. Go B. Please. And the MP9 spamming too. So they're tempted. They're like, all right, you know, it's MP9 there. We can win that fight. Right, guys? Right? Well...
Oh, they're rushing through the smoke. Oh, I hate it. Look how high up he is.
Oh,
though, man.
No way.
So crazy.
How did it fall so flat?
One E? Well, you know, this is the problem that I think you get as like an instinctive Counter-Strike player. You get one kill and then you want to move away, but actually you have to fully dedicate to your double boost and hope that you can make it work.
Should have stayed. Or what they could have done,
they should have stayed.
They could have, which was what I thought they were going to do as well, is what they essentially should have done is they got that double boost, they get a kill each, they fall, one falls down, one stays up there because they're not expecting a double boost. They, you know, and they would have been this wild, ingenious play. But no, not to be.
I think they've definitely come up with that one on the fly.
Yeah.
It's like a worked out round. Wicadia, of course. More kills, let's go.
Oh my God, there's a bit of a game brewing at the very least.
It's getting there.
Yeah, you know, it's
if this rifle round goes the way of MIBR, I'm a little shaky. I'm a little sweating.
Yeah, I'm worried, man. I am just ever so slightly concerned. It's a tough predicament, and you know, no surprise, Eternal Fire are going to go in for a sort of pause. Actually, it's not. It's MIBR going to go for a pause. Interesting enough. I thought Eternal Fire would be like, right, guys, let's shut this down here. But no, it's MIBR who I can respect in the same vein. They're also saying for them where it's like, we're going to, you know, we're on a bit of a resurgence here. This is what we need to do to continue this. But Eternal Fire, they're chilling. They don't feel the pressure just yet. No timeouts called for them.
Yes. Maybe they were on the verge of calling one as well.
Yeah.
So I think it comes at quite a nice time. But we'll see. Pressure is most certainly on. I think. I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you for Eternal Fire?
I'm at like a 4. Do you know what I mean? I like a 4 right now. I think if we get to like 12-10, it will escalate to like a 6, and then 12-11 like a 9. That's my scale right here. But
well, okay, it jumps pretty heavily.
But all I'm saying is, one badly played round. This might be it, right? One little mistake.
Yeah. This is what I was saying.
Overfight, and that's why just having that map point alone is massive. Jota spamming. He actually exposed himself to the boiler player, but Frenzen can't capitalize. What happened?
Yeah, that is very awkward indeed. It's not looking good here, is it? They're trapped in towards long, and I think that is known. The break comes in from Woxic. The info here, the spam successful enough, and that is it. That is the problem. You let them get to 12. One little fumble, one misread, you know. It was the player in Cubby that they just did not really pay attention to, did not think would be possible, and it costs them massively. So that is unfortunately going to be that.